I wanted to get on today and talk about the gun culture, our current culture. Sometimes it's gun culture 2.0, I don't know. I'm kind of stuck in the middle. I guess I'm closer to the gun point 2.0 where I'm in it for self-defense and other reasons. I don't really hunt. But the gun culture we have today, it's good and bad. So what's the good part of our gun culture? Well, the friendships you can make. And if you guys are listening to me, you know that the good part of that gun culture is the people you meet on the range. When you go to a class, when you go to the gun store, all these great people that you see. Where else are you going to go when you're on the range, you start talking to the guy next to you, and he says, hey, well, you want to try my gun? Here you go. And he hands you a lethal weapon and says, go ahead, try it. And not only that, you know, I've been on the range where people have handed me their $4,000 Nighthawk custom rifle or custom handgun, their 1911, and hey, here you go, here's a mag, just rip through it. He put the money in to buy the gun, the money in to buy the ammo, even the time to load the magazine for me, and he hands me his gun and says, go ahead. And he paid for range time, he paid for targets. This guy is actually giving me money, especially when the big ammo crisis was going on. There was a lot of money that was being given away on the range, and I still did it on the range. I let people shoot my gun. If you're next to me and you ask me to shoot my gun, I'll just hand it to you and let you shoot. Even if I have my 44 Desert Eagle that's costing me $1 a round to shoot, I'll hand you the gun and say, here, crank off a couple. No, you can't run through a whole box because I can't afford $50 every time somebody else touches my gun, but I'll give you a couple. And everybody like that seems to be in the gun culture when you get out there. And same thing with rifles. The other day I was walking out of the range and a guy's walking in, this part of the gun culture that I knew, and he brought his friends, and he had a JP custom AR that was probably worth $4,000 with a bunch of different triggers in it. And he goes, hey, we're gonna go shoot. Why don't you come with us? You already paid the range fee and you can shoot. Well, I didn't bring any ammo, but he goes, no problem, man. I got some Hornady, you know, self-defense super duper rounds, and he's giving me the rounds that are $1 each to shoot. It was a lot of fun. I hung out with them. And you meet all these great people that are willing to give and to help and to do anything they can to make the whole culture and everybody else better. It's amazing. I love that part of the culture. And that's why I'm proud to be part of this subculture of guns. And I hope if you're listening to this, you're proud to be that subculture too, and that you walk in and you are drawing other people to this part of the culture. I really want everybody to see that part of our gun culture when they come into places. When a new shooter comes into the gun show, and I say new shooter, they're there to buy their first gun. I met a ton of people like that last weekend when I was working at the gun show. I meet more people at the gun show trying to buy their first gun than at the gun shop that I work with. You know, I work at the shop 4 days a week, but I work at the show 2 days a week, and I meet way more people that are new shooters coming there. And that's great, and I want to help them out, and I'm like, hey, this is not a used car. And it's funny that I'm a salesman, so they think I'm a used car salesman, and then they're blown away when I say, no, I don't have one of those, but that table over there has one, and I think that gun would fit you better. Go over there. And then I'm yelling across the way, hey, Mike, hey, this lady right here wants to check out the new Glock 42. I ain't got any. You got any left? And he goes, oh, sure, right here. And I'll go, hey, just go talk to Mike real quick. If you like that one, buy it from him. He's got a good price. I'm just sold out of them. If you don't like that one, come back and buy the Shield that we were talking about. And you can run back and forth and try them both. I'm just sorry I don't have both of them right here. And you'd be surprised how many people like, oh, you're honest? I make tons of gun sales by just being honest, because they're used to dealing with used car salesmen that is trying to sell something that doesn't even run. And then I'm like, you got to find the best gun for you. So when we say the gun culture and want to bring people in, we need to talk to them about that, how the culture is different, how it's better, how we honestly want to help people, and we will, and we'll do better, and we'll do right by people, and we will help them out. Paul, I know you're on listening right now, and I know you had affiliations with some mag companies and stuff, but this is not Nike where you wear whatever shoes you have as a sports professional, because that's the ones they bought you. My sister was a professional for a long time. She wore the cleats for soccer for whatever company was sponsoring their team at the time. She had her own personal preferences, but she couldn't change it. But I know here in the gun culture, when we get supported by something like that, Paul, I know you do mag holders, but I know you carry it every day, and even if they weren't paying you, you'd carry that anyways. And that's the stuff that I really like about the gun culture, and that's the stuff that we need to talk about when we're trying to bring people into the gun culture. And we want to get them vested in our culture so that more people come in. And then, yeah, very funny, Paul. He's writing a message that says, I drive a Bentley as a result of my sponsorship. Yeah, I might sponsor Bentley, even though if I was given a Bentley, I'd drive it. Anyways, but that's the part of the gun culture I really want people to see, and I want to bring people into and have them come in. It's amazing how many people, wow, this is really awesome. I teach a beginner's course, and 3 ladies come, and they're like, wow, people are normal. They're so much fun. And I ended up bringing 3 people into a first shooters class, and it ended up being 3 ladies, and then all 3 of them were in the health industry, and it was a nurse, a doctor, and a psychiatrist. Who knew? I didn't when they signed up for the class. But so it was a lot of fun to talk to them on the health related issues and get some knowledge from them. And they're like, well, Ben, you're really smart, you should be teaching this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I am. Tell your friends. But that's the good part. And when we talk to people about that, that's what we really got to do, is talk to them about the good parts. Now, all you other guys, I have a challenge for you too, because I know you're in the gun culture. How do we break the bad part about the gun culture? And the bad part, ladies, you don't have much of a problem with this. The guys have more of a problem. It's that arrogance, that we are just the best we ever could be, that there's nobody better at shooting than me, that my gun is the best, that I can do dime-sized groups at 1,000 yards. I hear people saying that, and I'm like, really? Come on. I almost laughed, and the guy was really pissed off at me when he was saying they're doing dime-sized groups at 1,000 yards in a Marine Corps sniper, and that's their normal thing is, oh, that's our, if you're not shooting a dime-sized group at 1,000 yards, you're not nothing as a Marine sniper. And I knew at the time, and this has changed since then, the bench record at 1,000 yards was 7.2 inches for a 5-round group. So you're telling me that every Marine Corps sniper, as a standard, shoots better than the best shooter in the world right now. You're better than the best shooter in the world right now. The guy had no answer, and he goes, yeah, we're Marines. We're always better. And I'm a Marine. We're not always better. So that's the part of the gun culture that I want to break. And I don't know how to break that. Honestly, I've been mean at times when I tell people that, hey, you suck. I'm sorry, you just can't shoot. You think you're good, but you're not. And so that's definitely not the way to break that and make people keep them part of the gun culture and part of that good part. But so I'm challenging all you guys that are part of the gun culture. Look at yourselves. Make sure you don't have that arrogant, biased opinion that turns people off and makes people hate you. We don't need that in the gun culture. We need good people that want to help out each other and keep each other safe. And that's the part that I like about the gun culture. And that's the one that I want to perpetuate. Thank you all for listening. I am sitting outside of work right now at Sparks Firearms, so I have got to run. I'm already late. I went to breakfast with a bunch of people this morning. Thank you so much for listening. I'm out of here.